The more I've traveled, the more I've found that some of the hidden gems are places that just aren't on those touristy lists. And today we're going to cover one of those in the form of Sibiu, Romania. I sort of stumbled upon a trip to Sibiu, Romania. I was looking for a place that was not too expensive and for us where we live, pretty easy to get to. And this just reiterates what I've talked about before, that often if you are traveling to one spot of Europe, you can tack on another part of your trip to a maybe less touristy place and have an incredible experience doing that. So today we are talking about how to do Sibiu, Romania in 1 to 2 days. I'd read in multiple locations that Sibiu is a great place to visit if you want to get a taste of Romania. Sibiu had this cool kind of young vibe I wasn't really expecting. You can see from the outskirts of the town still some of its history, some of the oppression it has gone through, but I was very impressed with the city and felt it was worth recommending a visit for you. So day one, we are exploring the actual old town of Sibiu. I highly recommend that you try to stay close to the old town. I was super impressed with the prices of the Airbnbs and with how nice they ended up being. So my start to this first day is at the stairs passage. And as you're coming up through the stairs passage, you will see one of the centerpieces of Old Town Sibiu, the old Lutheran Church. Go over into the old Lutheran Church to get a look at that. You can climb the tower and get a bird's eye view of Sibiu. After that, head over to the Bridge of Lies. Now, the Bridge of Lies is named so because there used to be an old fable that this bridge would collapse if you told a lie on it. So while we were there, I asked my husband, are all 5 of these children really actually mine? Once you're at the Bridge of Lies, you're in what's considered the lower or smaller square. On most days, you'll find rows of sellers in the square. There's different restaurants. And there you'll also see at the end of the square the council tower. Now, if you want to get a second bird's eye view, or if you're like us and the tower happened to be closed in the Lutheran Church the day that you were visiting, you can actually go up to the top of the council tower as well. The council tower will also give you a view into where you'll be going next, the Piața Mare, which is the grand square. In the Piața Mare, I encourage you to stop and get a cup of coffee or have a lunch. It's got that great European large square feel, at least when we were there without too many tourists, which is always a huge bonus for me. On the edge of the Piața Mare, you'll see their National Museum. Now, the National Museum has multiple different forms of tickets. You can get some tickets just to see some of the old quarters of past royalty, or there is actually an art museum up above with some special pieces of art stashed in there. As you're exiting the Grand Square, when you're done with the National Museum, sort of exit out of the south onto the Strada Nicolae Bălcescu. No doubt I just butchered that. Along this pedestrian road, you'll see some great coffee shops, restaurants, places to stop in to shop. I love a good coffee, and I very much appreciated that Sibiu actually had a very nice coffee scene. At the end of this road, you can turn to your left and go up the Strada Cetății. Some of the old wall and towers are still kept up along here. We didn't do it, but if you wanted to, you could also pop into their Natural History Museum there. Now, after you've done all this, there's plenty of great restaurant options, and I put a few that we enjoyed into the description. For day 2, make your way out to the Astra Museum. The Astra Museum is the largest outdoor museum in all of Europe. It occupies almost an entire square kilometer and is absolutely worth a visit. It was actually probably my favorite thing that we did while we were there. You could take a taxi if you're cheap like me. It's actually super simple to get on the bus. There's a direct line to take you from Old Town all the way out to the Astra Museum. Entrance fees were very cheap. And what they've done is tried to recreate some of Romania's past. You'll get to walk through little makeshift villages. You'll see windmills. You'll see recreations of old farms, some of them with animals. My kids weren't with us for this trip. This was a getaway for my husband and I for his birthday. However, I think they would have absolutely loved this specific location. The whole place was kid-friendly, fun to see, so many beautiful things, so much to point my camera at. There's a lot of walking, but it is very stroller or wheelchair friendly, and there's multiple places to get a bite to eat and to really enjoy the entire experience. We took an entire day to do this, and I highly suggest that you do as well. So there you have it. You have spent 2 days absorbing some of Romania. If you decide to make this longer, Sibiu is located in the area of Romania called Transylvania, which you have probably heard before. We could have gone into the Carpathian Mountains or seen some of the Transylvanian castles. There is definitely more to do here if you wanted to make it a longer visit. Romania does have a different type of currency, even though it is in the EU. However, we were impressed by all the credit card machines and all the little shops. It actually was better than Germany as far as taking credit card. My husband was thrilled to find some IPAs. We loved the food. We very much enjoyed the entire ambiance and seeing this entirely new country and culture. It was definitely worth a visit. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe it'll get ready for your own trip to Sibiu, Romania. We'll see you next time.